favorite moment of your eighth grade year?
My favorite moment of my 8th grade year is whenever we did community service and placed flags on veterans' graves.
What was your favorite staff member of eighth grade?
Miss Godwell,
Why?
because she's really understanding and really nice.
Are you anxious to come to high school?
A little.
Yeah. What are you anxious about?
Having new teachers and
Favorite part of your eighth grade year?
My favorite part of the 8th grade year was probably when we were doing the Civil War, which we're still doing it right now, and I love learning about that.
What was your favorite staff member from eighth grade?
Miss Rosato, because she was really understanding and helped me understand math.
Are you anxious or nervous to come to high school?
I'm really nervous about going to high school.
Yeah. What's making you so nervous?
Just that I don't know any of the teachers or anything.
You're nervous to come to high school?
No,
Why not?
because why would I?
Your favorite part of your eighth grade year?
The Oreo competition,
Why?
because you have to vote on what Oreo was your favorite.
Who's your favorite staff of your eighth grade year?
Miss Johnson,
Yeah. Why?
because she helped me with all my issues.
And then, are you anxious or nervous to come to high school?
I'm very excited to go to high school because I heard so far that high school has been doing very well.
Part of your eighth grade year?
At the beginning of the year, me and Adam, we made like locker goop. We put a bunch of like food in a water bottle and stuff, and we had 3, and they all imploded in his locker. And we accidentally made some type of acid, and it started tarnishing his locker. So that happened, and yeah, that's my favorite part.
That's solid work,
Good
honestly.
one.
Who was your favorite staff of your eighth grade?
Mr. Carsley,
Why?
because he lets me play his guitars.
Are you anxious or nervous to come to high school?
No, not really.
Who's your favorite staff member of your eighth grade year?
I think it'd be Jerry Rosato.
Why?
She's always nice to me. I like her class, and I feel like it's going pretty well.
What was your favorite part of your eighth grade year?
My favorite part of my 8th grade year was probably the second trimester, because we did a lot of cool stuff, and we had a lot of fun.
Nice. What are you nervous or anxious about for coming to high school?
Not really a whole lot.
You're ready, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. What was your favorite staff of your eighth grade year?
Mr. Rand.
Why?
He's funny, I guess.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of your eighth grade year? What did you enjoy?
I don't know.
Are you nervous or anxious to come to high school next year?
Not that much.
You just ready?
Yeah.
Who was your favorite staff member of your eighth grade year?
Miss Rosanna,
Why?
because she's really funny and nice, and she's really good at teaching science and math.
What did you enjoy most of your eighth grade year?
Playing kickball and all sports with the 8th graders.
Are you anxious or nervous to come to high school?
Yeah,
What are you anxious or nervous about?
getting to class on time and getting the schedule right.
Perfect. Favorite staff of your eighth grade year?
Miss Rosanna,
Why?
because she's really good at teaching math, and I failed algebra, and so when I went to her room, it was kind of like a relief. And yeah,
What was your favorite part of your eighth grade year?
hanging out with my friends.
Are you nervous or anxious to come to high school?
Not really.
Yeah, you're just ready? All right. Favorite staff of your eighth grade year?
Miss Rosato,
Why?
because she is nice. That's really all.
What was your favorite part of your eighth grade year?
Probably sports,
Yeah, like what?
like softball and soccer.
Was there a specific moment that you remember that you really enjoyed? Are you nervous or anxious to come to high school next year?
No.
No, you're just ready?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite staff of your eighth grade year?
Miss Wiley,
Why?
because she's very understanding and very nice teacher.
She seems sweet. What was your favorite moment or a highlight of your eighth grade year?
When Miss Wiley made dunce hats for me and my friend Daisy, Daisy Lynn.
Are you nervous or anxious to come to high school?
Yep.
What are you nervous or anxious about?
The classes and some of the teachers.
All right. Your favorite staff member of your 8th grade year?
Mr. Man, probably.
Why?
I don't really know. He was just, he always helped me on homework and stuff that I did. It was pretty fun. He's pretty fun in the classroom.
What was a highlight of your 8th grade year?
I don't know. I don't have a highlight. I don't know.
Are you nervous or anxious to come to high school?
No. I thought it's pretty fun.
Yeah, you're just ready then.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Staff of your 8th grade year?
I'll have to say Miss Rosado
Why?
because she's just nice.
What was a highlight of your 8th grade year?
Probably getting to know everyone.
Yeah. Did you make a lot of friends?
Yeah.
Are you anxious or nervous to come to high school?
I'm nervous just to get be there and stuff.
Yeah. Staff of your 8th grade year?
I think, personally, Miss Caldwell, she's very supportive, helps around the classroom a lot. Overall, just very nice.
What was a highlight of your 8th grade year?
I think last fall, soccer season, in 7th grade, I played soccer. Wasn't the best. Over the summer, I practiced, got better, and scored a few goals, That's it, yeah.
Are you nervous or anxious to come to high school?
No, totally not. I think I'll be comfortable there.
Your favorite staff of your 8th grade year?
Miss Caldwell, because she always likes to have fun and do stuff with us.
What was a highlight of your 8th grade?
Messing around with my friends.
Are you nervous or anxious to come to high school?
No.
No, you're just ready?
Yeah.
Cool. Favorite staff of your 8th grade year?
Probably Miss Caldwell. She was really nice. She's really helpful in class. She kind of just gives the answers to us.
What was a highlight of your 8th grade?
Highlight? It's pretty fun, but also kind of boring. There isn't really much we did that was cool.
Are you nervous or anxious to become a freshman and go to high school?
No?
You're just ready?
Yeah.
All right. Favorite staff of your 8th grade year?
Has to be Mr. Rand. He's just nice and help out. No, he's never too busy.
What was a highlight of 8th grade?
Has to be learning how to read. I wasn't really a good reader back in elementary school, so that has to be my highlight.
Nice. Are you nervous or anxious to come to high school?
A little bit, but not really.
Just ready?
Yep.
Favorite staff member of your 8th grade year?
Miss Caldwell.
Why?
She's been energetic to me this whole year. She's really nice.
What was a highlight of 8th grade?
I'm gonna have to say soccer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Anything special or just in general?
In general, it was just fun.
Yeah.
Doing it.
Are you nervous or anxious to come to high school next year?
I'm a little, but not that nervous.
Yeah. Your favorite staff of your 8th grade year?
Probably Miss Caldwell, because she lets us go outside during some of our classes.
What was a highlight of 8th grade?
Soccer season.
Any specific event or just soccer in general?
Just soccer in general.
Are you nervous or anxious to come to high school next year?
Not really.
Yeah, you're just ready?
Yeah.
All right. Favorite staff of 8th grade?
Miss Caldwell.
Why?
Because she always put in the extra work to help people.
Was there a highlight of your 8th grade?
No. Yeah. Just being around my friends.
Yeah. Are you nervous or anxious to come to high school?
No.
No, you ready?
Yeah.
Bring it on. Who was your favorite staff of your 8th grade year?
Probably Mr. Kilborn, mainly because he's just he interacts with me very well. He's always there to support me.
Yeah.
He's also, when I fall off track, he's there and will just help me get back on track.
Sounds like a really good guy. What was a highlight of your 8th grade?
Probably becoming team captain for middle school baseball.
Yeah. Are you nervous or anxious to come to high school next year?
Very.
Yeah. What are you nervous or anxious about?
Just more so schedule.
Yeah.
I'm a very forgetful person.
And it's different than middle school, right?
Yeah.
All right. Who was your favorite staff member of your 8th grade year?
Probably Percy. He's pretty cool. He tells all of us stories when he was a little kid. He kind of knows us. And he's a person you can always talk to.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool.
Is there a highlight of your 8th grade year?
I don't know, probably getting passing grades because last year I failed most of my classes.
Nice, you did better this year then.
Yeah, I was passing like pretty highly. I got honor roll and stuff.
Nice, congratulations. Are you nervous or anxious to come to high school next year?
Not really. I've been waiting a while.
Yeah, you're just ready.
Yeah, I guess.
Staff of your 8th grade year.
Probably Miss Caldwell.
Why?
I don't know. She's always nice. She doesn't get mad super easy, and we get to do a lot of fun things in our class, like
Yeah.
rebuild the greenhouse and restore it.
What was a highlight of your 8th grade year?
Probably scoring my first goal in soccer in our last game for middle school.
Are you nervous or anxious to come to high school next year?
No, not really, because I'm already taking a high school class.
Nice. You're just ready then.
Yeah.
Favorite staff member of your 8th grade year?
My favorite staff member is probably Miss Caldwell.
Yeah, why?
Because she doesn't get easy super mad, and she gives us free time a lot too.
Do you have a highlight of your 8th grade year?
Probably. Actually, no, not really.
Okay. Are you nervous or anxious to come to high school?
No, not really.
You're just ready.
Yeah.
All right. Staff member of your 8th grade year?
Probably definitely Coach Alyssa.
Yeah.
She really changed basketball and softball this year.
What was a highlight of 8th grade?
Probably all the sports I play.
Are you nervous or anxious to come to high school next year?
A little bit,
Yeah.
not really.
What if you're nervous or anxious? What are you nervous about?
Probably sports.
Yeah.